here, let them know, let them know, let them know. Yeah. Let them know we are live again. We are live again. Live. Get ready. Good evening, everyone. It's very welcome. Welcome. Our speaker is fully ready for you and I believe you're ready too. Good. So quickly, we are going to start because we have limited time and our speaker has been waiting for quite a long time. So, hello everyone. Hi ladies and gentlemen, phenomenal writers in the house. I trust you've been well and you've been faring well and you've been enjoying this summit so far. Our speakers came prepared. I mean, I have enjoyed almost all the sessions we've had so far, and I'm certain you are not wasting your time as well because it is value back to back. So tonight, in case you're just joining or you're watching this live separately, my name is Ella Ogochukwu Obanwude, and I am your host for National Writers Summit. So this summit is powered by VITA-W Academy. It's an academy where we help people discover themselves, maximize their potentials, and communicate their ideas as a solution through creative writing and public speaking. So we run a training, we do publication, we do editing services, and the rest of it. And we train in that various aspects, including Amazon publication. So far, so good. We have understood that we can't sell everything, we can't monetize everything, of which helping writers thrive is part of it. Yes, we charge for our coaching trainings, but this particular one, we make it free. It is our way of giving back to the society to help writers keep on their toes, right? We want to ensure that the next generation of writers are secured in the sense that we have another generation that would represent Wulu Soyinka, that would represent Chimamanda Adichie, because nobody is here to stay for life. We all are going to go to the world beyond at any given point in time. And if you're not equipped, it will only be in history that there once lived a great writer, but we have none anymore. So I don't want that to be any of our story in our generation. And that's why at VITA-W we are organizing this national summit every year. So far, you've learned about how to sell yourself as a writer, how to be published, kind of stories to write, what is needful of you to write fictions. So many writers do not have portfolio, not because they don't want to, but they don't understand how to create one. And that is why our speaker for tonight is here to teach you how to build your portfolio as a writer. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too heavy, let me quickly introduce you to our next speaker, who is not else but Miss Catherine Luka. She is a B2B sales development representative who specializes in tech sales within a proven track record of selling B2B products and services. She excels at identifying business needs, creating tailored solution, and connecting companies with ideal clients. In addition to her sales career, Ms. Catherine is a freelance CV and resume writer, having written over 517 CVs and resume, um, helping more than 306 clients secure job placements. Her writing is personalized to highlight each client's strengths, skills, and potential. Ms. Catherine combines her expertise in sales and writing to help both business expand their client base and individual expand their career. She is committed to empowering other others through professional growth and delivering results. You can see our speaker is loaded. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Miss Catherine on the stage. If you can hear me, you're with me. Leave a comment, leave a comment with a clapping emoji. Let's know that you are welcoming Miss Catherine and you're happy to have her here. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. Out of your busy schedule, you said yes to us. The day you said yes, we felt like I won the lottery. Thank you so much. I do not take your presence, your sacrifice, and your heart to see other writers strive for granted. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. Thank you very, very much for saying yes to us. We know we got the right person for this session. Thank you so much. The floor is yours, and I'll be backstage in case you need anything.
All right, sounds good. Hi, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Ella. It is a pleasure to be here and to speak to your community. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for putting all of this together. I can only imagine the effort, the time, and the commitment that you have invested into this. And I just pray that God will continue to reward you and strengthen you. Thank you for putting this together, and thank you for having me. So I will just go straight and present my screen. Hold on. Um, Great. I think I have to upload. My apologies. Just give me a sec. All right, good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Adeyi. Just my apologies. I'm waiting for this document to be uploaded, right? And
No problem.
while the document is uploading, Ella, once again, thank you, and you are looking absolutely gorgeous this evening. I love your
Thank
hair.
you so much.
You look fantastic.
You. Thank you.
All right.
I'm blushing. Why?
You should, please, you should. You deserve it.
Thank you.
All right. So this is processing. I actually did not know that this was going to be the case. I would have given you since, right, to upload it.
No
My
problem.
bad. um all right, good. I think can you guys see my screen now? All right. Um, so today we will be talking about how to build a world-class portfolio, right? And before we dive into the topic, let me just give you a quick run about me. And Ella has actually done justice. My name is Catherine Luka. I am a resume writer. I started writing resumes since 2020. Back then, I was still a student in the university. So resume writing was like a means of survival. As a student, you're trying to get an extra means of income, and this resume writing offered that. But with time, it became something else. It grew into a passion, and I found joy in helping people create documents that can open doors that will change their career, because your CV is your passport to new opportunities in the world of in the professional world and in the corporate world. So why do I do what I do? I do what I do because I enjoy helping clients land jobs that they never thought possible. And the thing with resume writing and job and helping people land roles is that it is life changing. You can change an entire generation if somebody just gets a job that is really good with good pay. it can change an entire family's trajectory. So that is why I do what I do. I love it. Recently, I transitioned into tech sales, just like Ella said. I'm now into sales, and but I am still actively a resume writer. So let's dive into why you should bother about a world class portfolio. So I've had a fair share of what it means to stand out because I've been in the job market, I've been helping people in the job market. I have a decent experience when it comes to um standing out and getting yourself to get noticed, right? So why should you bother? You should bother because you want to stand out. You should bother because it is not just about showcasing what you do and your skills, it is about your professional identity. It builds credibility in your field. So if you are a writer, what aspect of writing do you do? For me now, it is resume writing, right? Building a world-class portfolio means that I want to get seen. I want to be known as a professional resume writer as well. And it helps you to reflect your personality and values and your unique strengths. So, as a person, you are you. You have what makes you unique. The way you do things actually is what makes you different, right? So your portfolio also communicates your personality and your values. If you are somebody that values excellence, it will reflect in your portfolio. It also helps you to take ownership of your crafts. When people see a resume that Catherine writes, like my clients that I have been working with, recurring clients, when they see a resume that is not good, they'll just know that this resume is not good. And when they see a resume that I write, if they recommend their friend and maybe the friend goes elsewhere to write the resume, they would know that I'm not the one that wrote that resume. So building a world-class portfolio, it helps you to own your craft. All right. Now, what is a portfolio? What is a portfolio? Why should you even what are we even talking about? A portfolio is a curated collection of samples. This is from Google, of course, that demonstrates your skills, your experience, your accomplishments, and it is often used to showcase expertise to employers or clients, right? And a portfolio is more than just samples, like I've already said. It is a strategic tool, and it is a tool that tells your story to the people that you want that story to actually resonate with. So, do you want your if an employer sees your portfolio, would they be impressed? What story do you want them to know about you? What aspects of you do you want that portfolio to radiate to the employer? So your portfolio is a strategic tool that tells your story as well. It also reflects your journey and your values and your professional identity, like we have already established. If you are an excellent person, it will show in your resume. It will show in your portfolio. Sorry, I will be using resumes. Please pardon me. It is actually portfolio. All right. Moving on again, a portfolio is a mirror. It shows what you have done and accomplished. So if you have actually done a big project, for example, you can't just say you have done a big project without showing proof that you have actually done that project. So it mirrors your accomplishment. It is also a window that reveals your personality, like we've already established, the way you think, your style, your approach, your methods, how you look at the world to an extent, because the colors you also use in branding your portfolio would also to an extent give us insight into the kind of person you are. If you are using yellow, yellow is a lively color. It is cheerful. It shows that you are alive. You are energetic, right? So it is a window that helps us to see your personality, the way you think, your thoughts, and how you are able to create all of this. And then it is a doorway that opens access to new roles, new clients, new opportunities. And I know that's what we like to hear. New clients means new money, new money, more opportunities, employment opportunities. Those are the things we like to hear. But beyond that, too, all of what we have said, all of what we have already established before, is also part of your portfolio and why you should bother. Now, forms of portfolio. Now, portfolio, when we talk about portfolio, a lot of people think that portfolio is just for creative, is just for writers alone, or for graphic designers. That's the word, graphic designers alone, to show, okay, I've done this flyer, I've done this graphic, I've edited this video. People think it's for just people that do creativity in a different way, which is in the world of pictures and videos. But there are other forms of portfolio. There are other forms that your portfolio can take. Now, your CV or your resume is a portfolio. It can be your portfolio. So now if for somebody that is in a corporate world, right? Let's say you're a business analyst, your CV and your resume is your portfolio. That is how you communicate your value. That is how you communicate your experiences, your achievements, what your values, your excellence. Okay. Another form that your portfolio can take is a personal website. Now, as a writer or a graphic designer, you can have a site that has all the information that you want us to see, which we'll be learning as in the course of this speech. We'll be learning what your portfolio should be about, what you should add, mistakes you should avoid, and all of that. So your portfolio can take the form of a personal website as well. And your LinkedIn profile can also be another form of portfolio. So what are we saying? I'm saying that you don't have to have the portfolio that is very I'm looking for the very, very good word I'll describe it. You don't have to have a portfolio that is going to be that is designed basically like a website, or like that has created pictures and all of that. There are other forms of portfolio. It doesn't have to be a website alone. It can be your CV, it can be your personal website, it can be your LinkedIn profile, it can be your samples. So it is the way and manner that you present it and you get it seen that is what makes it a portfolio, right? Your social media presence is also a form of a form of portfolio that you can actually explore. So now imagine you have all or most of these forms of portfolio in your arsenal. You would be unstoppable, you would be global, correct? So your CV or your resume, like we said, those are different forms of your portfolio. So stop looking at portfolio as something that has to be designed in a very pictorial way. I think that's the word, yeah. So it can be in other forms. Now let's look at the core elements of a world-class portfolio. What makes a portfolio world-class, right? So whether you are going to be using your resume to be your portfolio, or your what's it called now? Whether you're going to be using resume, or you're going to be using a personal website, or you're going to be using your LinkedIn to be your portfolio, or your social media, what should actually be the core elements? What should be the element of that portfolio? What will make it world class? World class. Now, the first thing that will make it world class is clarity. When I'm looking at your social media, when I'm looking at your CV, when I'm looking at your website portfolio, I should know what you are on about. Like when I took a look at Ella's LinkedIn, I immediately knew what she was on about. I immediately knew that she was all about helping writers. I knew she was all about writing. I knew what she wanted. I knew what she was into and what she wanted, and the kind of audience that she wants to communicate that to, the kind of audience she wants to attract. Okay, so clarity is very important. So, and also you have to clearly communicate your skills, your achievements, your niche. I saw on Ella's LinkedIn profile, she pinned a is it pin or feature? She featured a post where she was awarded Ella, can you help me remember? It was in I think it's Young Leaders Shaping Africa, something like that. She was awarded that she was awarded that she was given that award, and she was showcasing it. That is part of her portfolio, right? So you should clearly communicate your skills, your achievements, and your niche. Your niche, what kind of writing are you into? Yes, there are writers, and yes, there are different forms of writing, but what kind of writing are you into? Are you into resume writing? Are you into story writing? Are you into comic writing? What kind of Are you into script writing? What kind of writing are you into? Right? And make it easy for your viewers to understand what you do and who you serve. Like I said about Ella, she knows what she's on about, and she knows the kind of people that she wants to attract, right? Avoid jargons and just use simple, powerful language. And also use keywords that are relevant within your industry, within the niche that you have chosen. Another core element of a world class portfolio is quality. Quality over quantity. Less is more. It is better you cram up your it is better you create your portfolio with really strong and powerful achievements that are less than cram it up with jargons. It is extremely important because it will make you to also stand out and be clear, right? So showcase only your best and most relevant work. So if we're looking at your CV, for example, there are some aspects of your CV that should not be. There are some experiences that are not relevant to what you are pursuing that should not be on your CV. So there is no need adding all of that, right? Another thing is curate with intention. Like we said, less is more, and each item should serve a purpose. So if you are adding a line to your portfolio, if you are adding a line on your LinkedIn profile, if you are using your LinkedIn profile as your portfolio, if you are using a website, what do you want that line to achieve? What are you communicating? It is extremely important that all of this information have a purpose. So your portfolio again should also have a purpose in a call to action. So what are you trying to achieve? Do you want your portfolio to attract clients, or do you want your portfolio to attract employers? It is important that you also state that so that your audience would be known, right? And let's move on. Just to be sure, am I here alone or are we still here? Okay. All right. If you are just here, just if you can just put in the chat, right? Just
I can hear you.
all right.
We can
Sounds
still
good.
hear you. I'm writing a lot. My favor. I'm writing.
All right.
So thank you so
All right.
much.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I hope other people are here. If you are just here, just please leave in the chat box. Something so that I would know I'm not alone. All right. So that I know I'm not. It's not just me and Ella. It's not just Ella that is packing all my knowledge. Okay. So another core element of a world-class portfolio is consistency. So when we talk about consistency, we are talking about consistency in the branding, in the tone, in the formatting across different platforms. So if I come to your if what you are showing me on LinkedIn is let's assume you are using your LinkedIn as your portfolio now. What kind of writing tone and style are you using? Are you very aggressive? There are some people that actually are aggressive and that is their brand, which is fine. Okay. So is that aggressive tone consistent? Not that you are aggressive in your headline, you are not aggressive in your bio, and then you are aggressive in your work experience. It is not consistent. The formatting is not consistent as well. All right. So it is important that you keep a consistent tone and format across the if you're using a website, if you're going to be branding, if you're going to be using all of these materials at the same time, it is important that all of them are together, like they are all in alignment, they are consistent. You should use consistent colors, fonts, and messaging. All of this, it is also important to note that your portfolio can grow, your portfolio can change, your portfolio, what you are on about can change, right? But while it is changing, make sure that you are updating it. Don't leave your readers and your followers confused. It is very important that all of this is updated. Hold on, let me see. Oh, my bad. I did. I did. Sorry about that. All right, so let's skip back to Oluchi. Thank you so much. So let's skip back to the third point, which is storytelling. Thank you so much for catching that. So for storytelling, every piece should tell a story of growth and creativity or impact. So like we say, when you are adding something to your portfolio, there should be a purpose, there should be a reason why you are adding it. Right. Now when we talk about story of growth, it doesn't have to be I am a girl. I used to be in primary school. I attended my primary school in this, and then I grew up to become a this and that. That is not the storytelling we're talking about. The fact that you are already adding that you finished from point A to point B, or you did project A and you finished, and you did project B and you finished, that is already your story of growth. All right. Now, how you communicate it, the more creative you communicate it, and the impact that you have been able to drive with all of that should also be added. Use context. Was there a challenge? Was there something that you did differently? Was there a problem that you were able to solve? Use context so that your readers can be able to follow you and be able to understand what you are communicating on your journey. Make your work relatable and memorable. Like I said now, all of this will depend on the form of portfolio that you are actually using in this situation. So I would use Ella's LinkedIn now as an example. Ella's LinkedIn is looking fabulous, and you can see her growth across the different experiences that she has had. You can also see what she's on about, and you can also see the impact that she has made, because that is a form of portfolio that she is using to showcase what she has done, right? So let's move on. So we have already talked about aligning with brand and tone. Use consistent colors like we've already established. So if you're using all the forms of portfolio at the same time, and you're using green on LinkedIn, you're using red on Instagram, you're using yellow on TikTok, there's no alignment. It doesn't show organization. So make sure that your colors, your messaging is aligned. So if you are a poetic writer on LinkedIn, be a poetic writer on Instagram, be a poetic writer on TikTok, because all of this is also part of your brand, and it is part of your portfolio. Building trust through cohesive experience. Now that is where consistency shines through, because if you are not consistent across these platforms, if you are not communicating your value consistently, you will not be able to build trust in the reader, okay, in your viewer. So it is important that you build trust and make sure that you are consistent. So another core element of a world-class portfolio is your personality. Let your voice and your values shine through. Like we already said, you are unique, you are different, all of that. And while all of that is sounding very cliche and very and what's the word, aspire to perspire, right? Well, it is sounding that way, it is actually true. Okay, so your voice, your tone is very unique. Why is it that when you speak, your voice, my voice and Ella's voice are not the same? That's because we're not the same people, right? Ella has what makes her special. I have what makes me special. Oluchi has what makes her special. We all have what makes us special. So our voice should shine through. When we come to your profile and we read your content or we read your portfolio, we should be able to note your confidence. We should be able to note your personality, right? So let your personality shine through. Add touches that reflect who you are. If there's a quote you love so much, add it there. Throw it in. If there's an image you love so much, throw it in. Make it human, and you don't have to make it feel very robotic, right? Yes, you have to be professional, but make it human. Okay, you add some pictures to make it come alive, to give us an insight, because people want to work with people they know. People want to work with people that look like people and not like robots, right? So the next hold on. All right, great. So let's look at a weak portfolio versus a strong portfolio. So a weak portfolio would be very generic, with very generic and vague descriptions, inconsistent branding, no personal touch. It is very hard to navigate and overloaded with outdated work. Now, a strong portfolio, on the other hand, is created in sections, right? So your top project will be at the top because that is what is most recent. Now, the strength you had when you started in 2020, it's not the same. You have become better. You have actually learned, you have actually grown. So all of this, your recent project would have more experience than your previous project. That is why your previous project, your recent project should be at the top. Clear and engaging storytelling, like what I've already said, to show that you have been growing. Unified look and feel, right? Personality, values, and your personality and values should be visible. That is what makes you a strong, that is what makes it a strong portfolio. A clean and intuitive layout as well. Now, while we are here, I will be sharing an example of, hold on, let me see if I can share. Okay, I was thinking I could share my screen. I wanted to share you my portfolio, one that I have for myself. But I think unfortunately I can't do that at the moment. But let's continue. So let's proceed to action plan, steps to build a world-class portfolio. Okay. So the steps to build a world-class portfolio, the first thing, first and foremost, is you have to define your brand. You have to define what you are on about. I will still be using Ella because she's a very good point of reference at this moment. Ella has already identified what she wants to be known for. She wants to be known for writing. She wants to be known as the best writer in Africa. She wants to be known as the writer that helps other writers. So Ella has already defined her brand. So what do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known as the best poet? Do you want to be known as the best resume writer? Do you want to be known as the best script writer? What do you want to be known for? Identify it, and you can also identify 2 or 3 core skills and find a way to marry them together. So a very good example now in this situation would be myself. So I am a resume writer, and I am also a sales I'm also in sales. So my tagline at the moment is, I sell people to companies and I sell companies to people. Right? I sell people to companies using their professional CVs when they are trying to apply to jobs, and I sell companies to people in the form of B2B business. All right. So now these are 2 skills that I have found a way to marry together. So it is okay to find 2 or 3 skills and marry them and make it relevant, right? Because at the end of the day, again, you are your strong, like your person is a brand. Okay, so you should be able to identify what you want to be known for. Then you should make sure your voice and your values shine. What do you value? Do you value proactivity? How If you are very proactive, it means that you can sit and take actions ahead of time to save time and energy and stress, right? Are you organized? Are you excellent? Are you a time saver? Are you a saver? Are you a problem solver? Sorry. Make sure that your brand shines through. Those are your values. Those are your values. So identify your values. Another thing is your brand is your promise. So at the very core, I am a very results driven person. So I have taken parts that are actually consistent with driving results. Okay. So at the very core, who are you? That should be your promise. So if you are somebody that is exactly Ogujuku, define your brand. So if you are somebody that is very excellent, you value excellence, that is your promise. You are saying, if I am a poetic writer, I deliver excellent poems. So understand that your brand would be your promise and make it clear and consistent. So when they come on IG, for example, and they are seeing your profile on IG, they will still come to LinkedIn and feel the same impact, the same energy, the same vibe, the same consistency, the same promise. All right. So let's continue. So the second step would be to create your best work. Now, when it comes to creating your best work, it is always important to understand that this would not be something that you would do in a day or in the snap of a finger, with the snap of a finger. You need to understand that you need to sit and evaluate what you have done. Write down all of the projects that you have done. If you have written a book, write it down. If you assisted in writing a book, write it down. If you did a research and it was successful, write it down. If you were able to offer some guidance or support to somebody and it helps that person, write it down. When you write all of these things down, you would now get to pick and sieve out what is actually in line with what you want to be known for. So an example would be now again what we're saying branding world class portfolio for writers, but we're also saying world class portfolio for professionals generally, because you as a business, if you are a business analyst, you can have a portfolio if you decide to own one. All right, so let me use a business analyst in this situation. If a business analyst enjoys his business analysis project, and at the same time also he enjoys video editing and he does video editing, and he puts all of his projects together, he writes everything down. When he begins to dissect, he will now understand, okay, this project is not relevant to business analysis, so it would not come under business analysis. So what I'm saying is, you have to create your best work first, then you would understand which one falls under which, and then it is always important that quality over quantity. Less is more. It is better you are giving us one very good project than 15 crappy projects that you did not finish. So record projects that you have finished, record projects that are good, record projects that are strong and impactful. Showcase only your strongest and most relevant pieces, which we have already established. Add content, add context. What was the challenge? What was your role and the impact? And then think of your portfolio as a gallery, not just a storage unit. Now, a gallery, because like we said, you are telling a story. So feel free to add pictures, feel free to add shapes, depending on the form of portfolio you want to use. So if you are going to be using a personal website, you can go overboard. You can add colors, shapes, different things. If you are going to be using LinkedIn, you know what you will be restricted to. If you are going to be using Instagram, Facebook, if you are going to be using hold on, let me remind myself about that portfolio, forms of portfolio again. Yeah. If you are going to be using your CV, you know what is supposed to be there. You can't be adding pictures and be adding colors and all of that. So depending on the shape, depending on the form of the portfolio that you will be taking, that you'll be using, or your writing samples, depending on the portfolio that you'll be using, it is important that you are able to create. It's important that you are able to tell your story, whether you'll be adding pictures or adding colors and all of that. All right. So the third step would be to craft your story. Like we said, showcase growth and results. Results is very important. The world is driven by results. Well, there's a saying that goes, results silence all arguments, and that is extremely true. So showcase your growth and showcase your results. What you were able to achieve in 2020, you have been able to achieve more. Show us. Connect the dots between the projects. So if you're highlighting a project, sometimes you will find out that if you look at your projects critically, sometimes you will find out that it is the success of one project or the failure of one project that led to the beginning of another project. So showcase your project, connect the dots. So if it was the success of one project that led to the other project, connect the dot. Let us know that this project A was the result, was the reason why project B came about. Right? Highlight evolution, learning outcomes, tools that you have used, strategies, methodologies. Let it shine. Just speak to us. Okay? Let your journey speak louder than just the deliverable. And then it is also very important that you tell us your drive. So earlier when I started, I told you what drives me. Initially it started as a means to survive. But then I began to fall in love with it. I began to derive joy. I began to derive another why. I found another why. So it is okay for your why to change, but tell us what drives you. Tell us why that project was actually very memorable. Tell us why you invested so much time in that project and all of that. Show your personality. We have already been establishing this. Make it memorable, right? So if you are going to now, what I'm saying is, if you are going to create a portfolio, this should be the steps that you should take, right? Make sure that your personality is shining through, because people would always buy from people. Nobody wants to buy from somebody that looks like a robot or acts like it, right? Add a short bio that makes it feel human and not robotic. People remember people and not just polished works. All right, keep updating it. Update your portfolio. It is ever growing. You are growing. Your portfolio also grows. The projects that you have been working on have changed. So keep updating it. It is a living project, right? Your project is also alive. Keep it updated. Give it life, right? Sorry, your portfolio is alive. Sorry, I meant to say your portfolio. If a project is outdated, please take it out and add fresh wins. Your portfolio should evolve as you do. All right. Are we still here? I hope we're still here. So let's proceed to visibility. No matter how good your portfolio is, if it is not getting seen, if nobody is seeing it, then there's no point. There's really no point. Your work, your no matter how good your work is, if nobody is noticing you, if nobody is seeing you, there is we cannot help you. We cannot see the value that you will bring. We cannot see the problems that you can solve. You understand? We cannot patronize you, basically. We cannot employ you. We cannot give you opportunities. So visibility is very important. So beyond the world-class portfolio, you have a world-class portfolio. Is it getting seen? So a brilliant portfolio means nothing if nobody is seeing it. Visibility turns your work into opportunities, and your digital footprint is part of your portfolio. All right. So strategies for visibility and ownership and owning your portfolio, your personal brand. So if you are going to be using a personal website to do your portfolio, right, it is important that you are still active on LinkedIn. It is important that you should be active on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. Choose at least one or two of these platforms and be active on. Add your portfolio link in your bio so that people will notice it. When you write a post and it is relevant, add a comment and add the link to your portfolio. That is how people will notice it. You are driving visibility. You are driving eyeballs to see that, you to see what you can do and what you have done before. Okay? Now, own your name, be searchable and be consistent. Own your name. If you are Catherine Luka, when I go to Google and I search Catherine Luka, will I find you or will I find somebody else? Own your name. So if you can afford it, use a custom domain and a professional email if you can afford it. But if you cannot afford it, please by all means proceed to use free site options. You can use Wix, you can use Canva to create a portfolio, a PDF downloadable portfolio. You can use TikTok, social media like we've already established. Use unified handles. So if you are this is about you owning your brand and becoming visible so that your portfolio can be seen, right? Your name should be tied to your craft everywhere, mostly your personality and the values you stand for. It is important that when people look for you, they will be able to find you and find what you stand for and the kind of work that you can do. All right. So the next is the platforms that amplify you. Use platforms that amplify you. LinkedIn will give you professional credibility and network. Medium and Substack would give you opportunity to share with thought leaders, and you also share your writing samples. Your personal website is full control and branding. Like I said, you can go overboard, you can go all out. Niche communities, like what Ella is doing here. You have a community of brilliant writers. So share your work among them so that they can also see what you can do. Your portfolio is your portfolio is like your office and your business card. So when you are among people that are when you're in a space that you have other writers as well, share it so that we can see it, so that we can know what you can do and who you are and what you stand for. So networking and collaboration is also very important. Share your work in panels, webinars, group chats, collaborate with others to expand your reach, and then be present in conversations that matter. So another step you can take to make your portfolio visible is to do basic SEO. Now the SEO would be relevant, would only work when you use keywords that are tied to your expertise. So the keywords that a resume writer would use is not the same keyword that a poet would use or a script writer would use, right? So optimize your bio, your headlines and your article titles. It is important that all of this is optimized, and then make your name pop in relevant searches. So I think I another point you can another tip to help you drive visibility to your portfolio is comment on LinkedIn, especially on LinkedIn. Commenting on people's posts on LinkedIn will boost your brand. It will boost your brand. It is called inbound. So when you're able to comment on thoughtful comments, not AI generated comments, please. Thoughtful comments on LinkedIn. If you're able to leave 10 thoughtful comments on LinkedIn every day for 7 days, you would see the difference. You would see more profile views, more eyes will see your profile, more people will click on your link, that is your portfolio link, more people will get to know you, more people will engage with you, more people will DM you. So engagement drives visibility. Post consistently, high value driven content. If you cannot post consistently, at least engage with other people's content. Build relationship through authentic interaction. Genuinely, you should be interacting with people on LinkedIn, right? um if we can do a practical, I have a practical task here for us to do. So if you can just minimize and google yourself, google your name. Thank you, Ada, sorry. Google your name on Google. Just type your full name and let me know what comes out. Let me know what comes out. The search results, right? Google your name. What comes up in that Google search is part of your portfolio, right? If it is not what you want people to see about you, then it is time to start shaping it. It is time to own your narrative. It is time to drive the boat in another direction. All right? It's time to roll the boat in another direction, sorry. Okay, so Google yourself, and what the result is about is your portfolio, is part of your portfolio. So one way to own your portfolio, make sure that you are optimizing across all your social media platforms. Like we said, own what you do, right? Own your name. If you are going to be using LinkedIn to do your portfolio as a form of your portfolio, own it. So optimize your LinkedIn, optimize your IG, optimize your TikTok. That is part of your portfolio. Your digital footprint is part of your portfolio. All right. So, um, conclusion. In conclusion, a portfolio is sorry. In conclusion, a portfolio is beyond what you have done. It is who you are and how you want the world to see you. So it is extremely important that you pick a form of portfolio. I would suggest you use all the forms of portfolio, or at least three or four. make sure you have your CV, make sure you have your LinkedIn. For your personal website, you can use a Google site. Google sites are free, very, very free, and they are so amazing and so intuitive. They are so beautiful. You can find already made design that you can just edit. So you can use, like I said, a resume. You need a resume or a CV. You need your LinkedIn. You need a site. You can use Google, and you need social media. That is how, if you can get these four forms of portfolio at the same time optimized, you would be unstoppable. You would be attracting better clients. You would be attracting employers. You would be attracting more opportunities. So at this point, I am open to taking questions and additions and any other discussion, right? So if you have any question for me, hi Ella,
Thank
I
you.
can't hear you.
Oh, so sorry about that.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Thank you so much. This is a whole master class. You just gave us a full master class. A paid class. So I think I should collect money from everybody and pay tithes to you. That's rebust. Like personally,
You
I
should.
picked a lot. Yeah, I picked a lot from your session. I mean, all your session I've attended, there is always something new to take out. There is always something to learn. There is always something to go and refine and update. And this is mind blowing, I must say. Thank you so much, Miss Catherine, for sparing us this time. You didn't come and rush it. Okay, let me just come and fulfill all righteousness. You gave us your best. Like I do not take this for granted. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So if you have question, you can drop it, or you just let me know you are typing because you need to run along. You have other engagements to attend to. So if you are typing your question, you can just type wait for me or say I am here or just anything that makes me know that you are typing. Uh, um, if not, if we don't see your question, maybe in 2 minutes time or any notification that you're trying to type one, then there is likelihood that we'll just move on to the next activity. Thank you so much, Miss Catherine. I love the fact that you dissected it so much and also considering our present time and age, where your social media can also serve as your portfolio, right? Yes, because so many people don't even understand the relevance of their social media. They just type whatever they want, comment on any post, forgetting that these things affect what they feed on and it affects what they put out as well. So thank you so much for also emphasizing on LinkedIn. You know, most writers are always confused about this portfolio thing. They'll be like, I've written for 20 clients. How do I write my portfolio? What do I put in my CV? And you just dissected it all. You gave us options of maybe having your works, maybe in a pictorial representation, in a written representation. Only put what you started and finished, and something that is worth the while. When someone see, they'll be like, "Oh, this is actually something that gives this person credibility, or that convinces me that he or she can do this job." And most of us that are here will say, "Oh, I'm not looking for a job. I already have clients." If you want to employ someone, oh, you don't know people you want to employ, so they are checking you out. So
True.
if you don't work on that, you probably will be losing clients or you'll be losing finest minds you could work with. So it is very important you work on your social media. If you can, create a website like she said. Also get a professional email if you can afford it. If you can't, Google have made it easier for you to create one if you cannot pay for one. So it is paramount that you take this session. Like, I believe each and every one of us, or in the comment section, or who followed to this point, can attest to the fact that you can't go again and not have a portfolio. And maybe you are so busy, you don't know where to start, what to do. Miss Catherine is your surest plug. If you create your portfolio, nobody can reject you again. I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling you for a fact. So if you want her to render the service to you, she's very much available if you can afford her service. But be rest assured that whether it's academic CV or job CV, whichever one it is, you are going to get it. So far you have the qualification. She's going to tailor it made for what you are applying for. So you can reach her on Catherine Luka on LinkedIn.
You can just search
Yes,
me on Google and you will find me.
exactly. Oh, she's on Google. You don't even need to stress yourself. You find all her media expressions. Yeah, the first time I got conscious of searching myself once in a while on Google was after I attended your session back in the days. I think that was last 2 years or thereabouts. I'm like, really? So me too, I'm on Google. Yeah, I saw so many interviews I did. I have to even reach out to a certain blog and say, please take this one out, take it down. I don't want it again. I know. So when you asked us
Wow.
to, yes, you asked us to check our Google our name. So I was seeing a lot of things, my book on Amazon. Like, I never
Wow.
envisioned that all those things would be there, but it was there. So that's my shoulder pad went up. Like, if someone say what's your name, I'll say Google me. So thank you so much, Miss Catherine. We don't take this session for granted. Personally, I do not, and I'm very certain that everyone who is here live with us, um, okay. He said, "Oh, David Oloche said, Adeyi Oloche said, I love what AI Mood has about me. Oh, great! That's interesting. Okay, he was done with the assignment, and he also said this session was massive. Yes, I agree with you totally. Thank you so much, ma'am. So, Favor Talent is saying thank you so much. Obviously, obviously, they grasped a lot from the session, and it's almost also obvious that most of us do not have question. I want to encourage you to go back and watch the replay. I'm not exaggerating. Go back and watch the replay. Follow it step by step, word for word. You may say, oh, there is AI, oh, there is this thing, you can get your information. But trust me, this is real. The step by step guide, what you need to do, where you need to get information. You can't get it other, other than having a coach like Miss Catherine guide you through it. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It was quite a beautiful evening with each and every one of you. I do not take your presence for granted as well. It's quite a delight to have us here. So we have come to the end of tonight's session. Remember, there is still another session tomorrow. How to move from being a writer to a speaker. If you listen to the two speakers we had tonight, you will hear them saying one thing: learn how to sell yourself. And most times, selling yourself is not like you go to the market and keep yourself on a table, or keep yourself in a shop and say, oh, I'm selling myself, today is my turn. No, you go to an event and you need to network, and people will be asking, what's your name, what do you do? If you don't understand how to make the speech, the comments, the how to share what you do, because nobody is waiting for you, or you'll not be sharing your portfolio there. You need to learn how to sell yourself on the spot, and that's part of why we are bringing Val Okafor tomorrow to teach us on how to move from being a writer to a speaker, right? So yes, so do not sleep on that. Make sure you make the best out of all of this session. Welcome back, ma'am. Thank you once
Thank you.
again. Okay. Someone sent a question when we are about to close. You have luck that she came back. Thank you so much, ma'am. Please, are you open to take the question, please?
Yeah,
Is it
sure.
okay? I read. All right. Thank you so much. So, question, it says from Onoche. It says, how do I get myself on Google? Because all I saw was my social media handles aside the AI mode. Is there a way I can get my information on Google?
Okay. So that's a very good question. The thing is, Google actually generates information from different platforms that is a search query. So it generates information from across different platforms, different websites, and then it brings relevant information to that are very, very relevant to your query. So if your name is Catherine Luka, and we have like 20 Catherine Lucas on Earth, let's assume, or on Google now. So what Google will do is it will bring out the most relevant Catherine Luka that has more content around Catherine Luka. So if Catherine Luka is there's Catherine Luka on LinkedIn, let's say there's Catherine Luka on LinkedIn, there's the same Catherine Luka on Instagram, there's another Catherine Luka on Facebook, and there's one Catherine Luca. It would rank Catherine Luka first because it has more search results and it is more relevant and more cohesive, right? So if you want to get yourself on Google, you're already on track. Your social media is already your first what's it called now? Is already Google is already sharing, is already bringing it up as a search result. So that's already good. So what you need to do is the next thing you need to do, if you're on Upwork, it will bring it out. If you're on Fiverr, it will bring it out. If you're on Amazon KDP, it will bring it out. If you did an interview just like Oluchi did some years ago, that she eventually doesn't like it, and it is on Google, it will bring it out. Right? So if you are on LinkedIn, it will bring it out. So what am I saying? I am saying for you to get on Google, you have to get on social media platforms and other platforms. So other platforms like we mentioned in Upwork, Fiverr, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of those platforms, you need to be active or not. You need to get a profile. You don't have to be active. You need to have a profile that is optimized for what you want to be known for. Then Google will create all of that and bring that out. So that's how you get on Google. But if you don't like what you are seeing on Google, that means you need to go back and do some work. Maybe the social media it is showing you is not really what you want to see. That means you need to go back to your social media platforms and correct all of those information, correct all of that to what you want Google to rank you for. So I hope I've answered your question. Let me know if you need me to clarify further or if you need me to expand. Are we here?
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope he responds. Oloche, if okay, he said yes, just as mentioned, it brought out my LinkedIn profile also. I need to go and edit it. I wish I could share my screenshot of
Uh,
it. Exactly. When you also told us to do that, I was like, what is this? I can't even remember I made that post on that. I was like, no, if people should take it down. So they were insisting, no, you won't quit. I said, no, it's my work. I decide where it stays and where it goes down from. It wasn't bad.
exactly.
It wasn't necessarily something bad. But I feel like I wrote as a novice writer a lot of errors. I was
Mm,
like, this is not me. I don't want it
man.
there
You have
anymore.
definitely
So that
evolved
is
from
it.
that.
Thank you so much.
Mm,
Thank you so much, ma'am. David,
mm.
Olochego, I know him often, so that's why I'm calling him David because I know him as David.
Right.
So
Not a
so that you
problem.
don't get confused. Yes.
Not a problem.
So
If you
Oluche,
actually need, more help with your like you have more questions or you want us to have a conversation around this, please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, LinkedIn, or you can ask Miss Ella for my phone number, WhatsApp, and then we can just send me a message. But you have to tell me you are from this group, or else you will pay. But if you tell me you're from Ella, you will not pay. Okay. So please feel free
thank
to
you
reach out
so
to
much.
me if you have questions. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I am pleased to. So thank you so
All
much.
right.
And also, David, if you want to get yourself on Wikipedia, there are people that are experts on that. Like when you browse an influencer or a celebrity, you just see all their details, when they were born, where they were born, about their family, and all of that. That is a different ball game on its own. The one Miss Catherine was referring to is the one that SEO on Google just do its thing, compile all your information and the likes. So we truly appreciate your presence, ma'am. We've learned a lot, and I don't want to go again, no. Well, we have to end this session. I am grateful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And
Thank
we
you for
look forward
having me.
to see you. And like I said, go and follow her on LinkedIn. Even if she's not posting again, read old content. She never carry you go where you go. You always glean a lot of value. So stay, read, follow, and implement. Thank you so much, ma'am, and everyone who joined us on this session tonight. I'm very certain you didn't waste your time, and we are grateful. You have an amazing night and a great week ahead. God bless you, and we appreciate this sacrifice. We do not take it for granted. Thank you once again. Thank you so, so much.
Thank
We
you.
are grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. So, everyone, like I said before now, we will be having Mr. Baloka for tomorrow. So, remember our session, and also if you engaged in the writing challenge, by God's grace, our results will be out tomorrow. So you get to know who the winner is and who is getting our prizes. We love to see writers thrive, and it is not stopping here. Even in the community, you can still introduce, you can still invite someone, because it's going to be a community that will be consistently growing. We are not going to stop after this summit. I am Ella Obant, in case you do not know me. Until I come your way tomorrow, keep writing excellently, and good night. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much, and have a great week ahead. Bye for now.